Hi everybody and welcome to FabTax. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Rosemary and today I have 5 vintage style Halloween Dollar Tree DIYs. They're in bold black and white with pops of color. And best of all, these projects came in at under $5 each. I had a lot of fun making these DIY projects and I hope you enjoy. Without any further ado, let's get started. The first project is a buffalo check bound book stack. For this project, I got 3 books from the Dollar Tree. They didn't need to be the same exact books. I was hoping they had them, but they didn't have them that day that I was there, so I just got 3 books that were the same size. It didn't really matter the colors because I'm going to be painting them all with black chalk paint. Now before I painted them, I did take some sandpaper and smooth out the lettering on the spines of the books. I found that if I just sanded the sides there, they did smooth out. And then I took the black chalk paint and I just really actually painted what was going to be showing. So the top and side of the bottom and top book, and then just the side of the middle book. Once the books were painted, I took these letter stickers that I got from Michaels and just put on their trick or treat on each of the books. And you can see where I only painted the sections that were showing. Then I took some of this buffalo check value ribbon that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I just cut off a piece of that and then hot glued it around. Now don't do like I did, because right here you'll see I go to put on the ribbon and forgot that I needed to do it above where the letters were. I didn't want to cover the letters with my ribbon, so I had to pull that off, move it up a little bit, and then I just proceeded to take the piece of ribbon and hot glue it to the back and then wrap it around the books. And then I just got this thin orange ribbon that I purchased from Michaels, and then I just wrapped it around the buffalo check ribbon about 4 times. And tied a bow. And then I took 2 of these orange jack-o'-lantern stickers that I got from the Dollar Tree and just added them to the middle book for some extra effect. And there you have a cute little book stack. For my next project, I made some footed trays. So this DIY is super easy. I just took a couple of these silver trays from the Dollar Tree. I had one in the rectangular shape, which I'm going to put the skulls on as the feet, and then one in the round shape, which I'm going to use pumpkins as the feet. Now for the skull ones, because they don't sit straight or flat, I did use these little stampers from the Dollar Tree that are actually going to be the legs, and then the skulls are just going to form the facade. So because I didn't have all blacks of those, I do have to paint 2 of the orange ones black. And then for the pumpkin ones, I'm going to just glue together 2 of the pumpkins, and then those are going to form the legs of the tray. And I will make 4 sets of those. Now from there, I just glued the feet or the legs onto the back of the tray, and I did them basically in a 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock pattern. Then for the rectangular tray, I just took the 4 stampers and glued those to each corner, and then added the skulls upside down, and they fit just perfect, and they will form the facade of the leg. And here we have the finished pumpkin leg stand, and I will show the skull stand in the next project. Project 3 is sitting on top of the skull tray, and it is a glitter paper roll pumpkin. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I made a whole collection of block style pumpkins using paper towel and toilet paper rolls. Today I'm going to be doing a Halloween version and adding to the collection. If you're not familiar or new to the channel, I will include a link below so that you can check those out if you like. So to make the Halloween version, I took 4 toilet paper rolls and just added some hot glue to the top of one of the rolls, and then took a square of craft paper and just added it to the top and repeated that for all 4 rolls. Now, craft paper or whatever paper you have, I just happen to have craft paper, but it really doesn't matter. And then I just trimmed off the excess paper with scissors. Once all the rolls were covered, I just hot glued the 4 together. Once the rolls were all attached to each other, I took some regular white glue and some of this orange glitter, and then I just coated the entire surface of the pumpkin with the glue. Tops, sides, all in the little crevices, everything that's on the surface. And then I just took the glitter and just covered the glue with the glitter. For the stem, I'm just taking one of these dog rawhide treats. My dog doesn't seem to like these. And then I'm going to cover that again with the glue and then sprinkle that with some of the black glitter. And there he is, the newest member of the Paper Roll Pumpkin family. This guy just cracks me up. He is a pumpkin head lamp and he actually lights up. To make this project, I used one of these Dollar Tree vases and some multi-purpose white paint. Now I washed the vase inside and out first. I made certain it was clear of any kind of debris or oils. And then I added some paint to the bottom and then just thinned the paint with some water. And just made certain it was good and stirred up. And once it was the right consistency, it was a little thin. I put too much of the water in, so I wanted to just thicken it up a bit because I don't want it to be too runny, but just runny enough so that it moves smoothly over the surface of the vase. As you can see there, I'm just spinning it kind of in a downward motion. I have paper underneath to catch any spills. Then once most of the vase is coated on the inside, I just tap it on the paper in order to get that paint all the way up to the tippy top of the vase. And there you can see now the entire vase on the inside is covered. But then I want to continue to tap the vase because I want to get as much of that excess paint out as possible. So I'll just continue tapping until no more of that paint or very little of that paint is coming out. And then I just took a damp cloth and wiped off the exterior of the vase, getting up any paint that might have come in contact with the exterior. And now I'm going to start applying the painter's tape to create the sections. And then what I did was I just placed one piece anywhere on the vase. It doesn't matter. That'll be the starter piece. And I'm trying to get it straight and around that indent on the bottom. But then I took a second piece of the painter's tape and I placed that second piece directly opposite of the first piece. So now that's going to create 2 main sections that I can work with. And then the other tapes will go, 2 more tapes in each one of those sections, and they will go about 1/2 inch away from each other. So there'll be a space of about 1/2 inch in between all of the tapes, all the way around. And then because of that indent on the bottom, it is a little bit tricky. I kept trying to make sure that I was getting the tape smoothly and well attached in that indent to try not get bleed through, but unfortunately it didn't work too well, as we'll see. But once all the tape was adhered, I painted with the black chalk paint. And I did do a couple of coats of this black chalk paint. And then once I removed the tape, you'll see I still did get bleed through. I think that curve is a little bit of a problem. So if you don't want to deal with having to scrape off the bleed through and are a little concerned about that, you might want to just use a straight cylinder vase for this project. But there, you'll see how it still had bleed through because the tape wasn't adhering as best as it could because those curves were kind of creating some challenges for the tape. Or maybe the tape applier, I don't know, maybe a little of both. But anyway, I just went with my fingernail and a damp cloth and just used my fingernail to just kind of scrape off those little excess pieces. It worked out just fine. It's just another extra step, and you know, if it's something that would bother you, you might want to just go with a straight. You can see this one was really bad where the tape the paint was just going right underneath of the tape. So anyway, I think maybe a straight cylinder if you don't want to deal with this, but if you do, it's really not a big deal. You just kind of, like I said, just, you know, put a damp cloth under your, you know, and use your fingernail to just kind of scrape off those excess pieces. And then even those big lumpy parts come right off. It's not a big deal. And then for the pumpkin head, I used one of these jack-o'-lantern paper lanterns, and from the Dollar Tree. And you just, it comes with these two pieces, and then that little circle part goes on the light at the bottom, goes around the light at the bottom, and then those two pieces on the edges just pop into those little half circles. And that's it, and then it's assembled. And then you just need to put 2 AAA batteries in the bottom and turn it on, and you have yourself a cute little pumpkin head lamp. The 5th and final project is this Hocus Pocus wall hanging. For this project, I used one of these Dollar Tree turkey platters. They're silver, they're found in the party section. Then I just flipped it over, and what I'm going to do is take some white multi-surface paint and paint around the entire bumpy part of the platter. Now when painting this, I did want to make sure that I kept the rim around the top black. So when I was painting it, I was just staying on the bumpy parts. Now the top of the platter, or the bottom of the platter, and the top of the wall hanging will be also painted white eventually, but I'm not painting that white now because the next process I'm going to do, it'll just scrape it up anyway. So it doesn't matter if you get some white paint on the top there, because that will eventually be painted white, but you want to try to keep that white paint away from the rim. Now, if you do get a little white paint in that section, no worries. I just went back with a little wipey or, you know, a damp paper towel and cleaned up all the little sections where I had gotten some white paint in that area. While my platter was drying, I took 3 of these witches' hats from the Dollar Tree. They're little ornament cutouts. They do have a little hole in them. You can fill that if you like. I just left mine that way. But then I just took some paint in the Sanderson Sisters colors and painted 1 yellow, 1 orange, and 1 purple. Once my paint was dry, I went back with some sandpaper and just lightly sanded over the tops of the raised portion of that bumpy part. It then just revealed the black surface underneath. I then just took a damp cloth and removed all that sanded material from the top of the platter. I then again took my white multi-surface paint and painted the top of the wall hanging. I did have to do 3 coats of this to get a nice solid finish. So there you see one is still very streaky, so another 2 coats will do the trick. For the accents, I'm going to be using these round puffy stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be painting those with black chalk paint. Now when painting these, I do like to get a nice coverage on those, so I paint them up and down and then sideways, and usually give them at least 2 coats. After the 3rd coat was dry, I took my platter and I just got my little hats and arranged them just so that I could get an idea of where they would go on the platter, as well as where the words would need to be. Then I took this Hocus Pocus printout from my computer, and I'll provide a link in the description box. And now I'm going to just transfer that right onto the surface. And what I found is that I can just do this on regular paper, and with the black ink will still transfer. So I just go and use a pencil and take each letter and just scribble on the back of the paper so that I'm, going around the entire letter, And I do that for every letter and hold the paper in place, make sure it's not moving around, because then of course your letters will be off kilter. And then once all of the letters have been scribbled on the back, it transfers beautifully. Now, if I was going for a weathered look, this would be perfect as is. But for this project, I wanted to have bold letters. So I just went back over the imprint with a black paint marker. Now, because I'm impatient, I ended up smearing my upper S there, so I had to go and paint it over with some white paint, and that'll be fixed in a few minutes. But while that's drying, I wanted to attach my Sanderson sister hats. So I just arranged them how I wanted them to be, and then used some hot glue to attach them. Next, I took my little black stickers and put them all around the edging of the sign. And then that's what it looks like with the S fixed and all the little stickers attached. And there we have the finished Hocus Pocus wall hanging. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this vintage style Halloween Dollar Tree DIY. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give us a thumbs up and to share with any family and friends you also think would enjoy this DIY. Please leave us a comment with any questions or tips, or just to let us know which one was your favorite. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you join the family. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.